going on, Deaconess?
We are live. Welcome to my channel. My name is Natasha, and I am part of the hosting team of this Married at First Sight review. I am here with my co-host.
What's going on? My name is Kasaun Wilson, aka Ernest's favorite comedian. Happy to be here. Shout out to the EOLC. Love y'all. It's good to be here. What's going on, Deaconess? How you doing?
Why are you calling me Deaconess? I do need to sing my song. Come on in the room. Hey,
yeah.
On
all right. You sang this last week. Let's sing the rest of the song.
Jesus is my doctor. Hey, writes down all my scriptures. Hey, gives me all my medicine in the room.
Yeah.
Hey, Jerry. Hi, Crystal.
The songwriter for that song had a studio apartment. She didn't even specify which room it was. It's just the room.
Yes. Come in the room.
Sometimes you ain't got that many rooms. You just got to get it done.
Period.
What up, Crystal? What up, Jerry?
I just want to pull up a second screen here. This episode, episode 13, I feel like we're getting back into regular Married at First Sight. We're back into the groove of normal Married at First Sight. It's not all about shock and drama, but this is actual relationship problems. We're finally getting back. Hey, Veronica! We're finally getting back into what it's all about.
Let me just start off by saying this. And I cannot start off without saying this because I have this would not be right if I didn't say this first. I apologize, Dr. Pepper. You are here and you are a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, that girl came in swinging. She came in swinging. She was not playing.
She called that man garbage. I was like, oh, snap.
He's a narcissist. I'm just calling it what it is. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it.
Hey, Dr. Pepper, I apologize. If you ever watch this, I was wrong. You came back strong.
Mike, hi.
What up? Pastor Mike.
But yeah, it was I feel like we're definitely. Hey,
Jamal, what up? Dr. Pepper has been out of commission, but she came back to stay. I was here for her. So go ahead, Dr. Pepper.
Reese, hi.
What up, cuz?
Sorry, the rest of y'all I wasn't here ready to click on y'all's comments when y'all say hey, but y'all, I mean, I see you say hi. I'm so happy you're here.
They feel the love. They feel the love, Deaconess.
Are you calling me Deaconess because I had a meeting?
Yeah, of course, obviously.
If y'all didn't know, I am I live at church. Before the pandemic, I used to tell my friends I'm going. I had to go home, and they would assume that I was going to church, and I probably was. That I used to call church my home. I had keys and everything. I have keys.
If anybody ask you,
Danielle,
where I'm going, where I'm going soon. Yeah.
I'm definitely. Hopefully, prayerfully, I'm living my life to be in there.
What up,
I feel like, I feel like you're freezing a little.
Me?
I don't know. Y'all tell me. Make sure y'all let us know if you're right, sing. Let us know if our services is.
We know you're gonna make it in, Tasha. You defend people who are obviously lying. So God, you gonna make it in. You gonna make it in first class. I promise.
I hope so. I just gotta keep trying to live my life right. I need, I got friends in here like Siobhan and Mike. They try to keep me on the straight and narrow. So
yeah, after last week, I mean, you was already gonna get a mansion, but now the interior decorating your house, you're gonna be living spaces. You're gonna get living spaces. You're gonna get good living spaces furniture in your heavenly mansion.
Praise the Lord. Praise
I
the
feel
Lord.
confident about that.
So let's start it off.
Even though the way you treat Ernest, I don't really appreciate that. So maybe that docks you down some points and it brings you back down to.
Maybe I'll lose a jewel. Maybe I'll lose a jewel in the crown or two. I don't know.
You might be at Rent Center, but you'll be in there.
Let's start off. We 5 minutes in. Let's start off with the non-factors at this point. Let's start off with Paige and Chris. Ooh. So this episode, for the people who didn't watch this episode, I call this review "The Truth Is Coming Out" because experts came in and did some consultations with each of the couples, and they really wanted them to ask each other questions that they had been avoiding and that they really needed to know the answers to before decision day. What would make or break your decision on decision day, things that you need to know, things that you need to ask. And they talked to them and they were encouraging them to think of those things and ask their partner and see what they say. So a lot of things, I won't say a lot, but some good conversations came out of it. And that's why I say, I feel like the show is back to what it was supposed to be like. Okay, we're working on your relationships, guys. Like, this is what the show is supposed to be. So let's just start with Paige and Chris. So Dr. Pepper met with Paige, and I felt like Dr. Pepper specifically said, I don't want to see Chris' face, period. Because Dr. Pepper, she's talking to Paige and she says, I am so sorry. We did not know that he was a narcissist. And yeah, I'm diagnosing him. I don't care what nobody say. He's a narcissist and I ain't missing my words. And she was like, well, why would he want you to meet the mother of his child?
She been watching the show.
Why is nobody calling this girl his ex-fiance? It's the mother of his child. Hashtag MOAC, period. Everybody's saying the same thing. Chris's mom even said it, I think. She said something, the mother of, why is everybody saying the same thing? Crystal, hi. And then, so Paige,
if there's an old white woman version of Nas's Ether, that's what Dr. Pepper did last night. She was like, for everybody who's been asking for me all season, he's trash. He's garbage. I didn't know. He fooled all of us.
So Paige is telling her sob story all over again to the last person who ain't heard it yet. And goes through the whole, I'm so tired of Paige telling her story at this point. And you know what I'm saying? I obviously feel bad for what happened to her, but like, okay, girl, she still want more closure. How much more closure do you need when he said you ugly to him and you gave him a panic attack because of you ugly? That's what he told you to your face. What more closure do you need? Talking about when I see him on decision day, I have questions I need to ask him. Like, why would you? How many times you ask him why he did it? He keep telling you he just wanted to do it.
All right, here we go. Here's the first thing that bothered me about this episode. Am I the only person who is still bothered by her curiosity about his intentions? Like, what?
What? You still asking questions, girl? We all know he just wanted to be on here. What more do you have to be answered? What more do you want to know?
We have hit the piñata. The candy is on the ground. You still trying to look through the feathers to see it's over. We popped the piñata is gone.
What'd she say? Reese said, I've heard that a part narcissistic behavior is to strip titles like wife, girlfriend, etc., and lower their place. Yeah, they want you to feel like nothing. It's just, I wish she would move on. Like you keep saying I'm moving on, but she ain't moving on. And so Dr. Cal is supposed to meet with Chris. Dr. Cal is waiting in the room for Chris. Allegedly, their meeting was supposed to start at 7:00. Everybody's on time for their meetings. Okay. Chris shows up to his meeting. No, at 7:45, Chris still wasn't at the meeting. And Dr. Cal was like, okay, so we finna wrap up, right? Because I got to go home. I got a wife. I got children. I got to get my sermon together for tomorrow. And finally, Chris walks up in the room almost an hour late. He was like, oh, I was about to leave. And so he shows up, doesn't really apologize. Just, I don't have the word. And so he's talking to Dr. Cal, and he's like, man, what happened? What happened for real, Chris? What happened here? And he literally said, I just didn't like her face. He's like, so what else? What else was not attractive? What else was the thing? He's like, that's it. It's just her face.
Here's how you know
didn't like it.
Here's how you know Pastor Cal is frustrated. I ain't never seen Pastor Cal clench his fingers like this so hard. He said, come on, man. He said, give me something, man. What else is it? It can't just be physicality. What is it, man? Look how strong. Hold on. Let me turn my hand. Look how strong his knuckle was bending. This ain't natural. He said, come on, Chris, give me some. Go back and watch the episode. He said, come on, Chris, give me something, man.
Chris said, out of all of the beautiful black queens, all the beautiful white queens, all the beautiful queens y'all had, he said, y'all are responsible for why this didn't work out. Y'all are responsible. I said, what? Miss Pascal was like, sir, are you serious?
Listen, I don't know who's out there watching, but let me tell you something. There's always a silver lining in these things. I don't care what you think about Chris. We should all aspire to his level of confidence, because it didn't make no sense, but that man did not crack under pressure. It don't matter how much logic and wisdom and knowledge you throw at that man. He is ready to go. In a meeting where Pastor Cal had to hold himself back from essentially calling this man immature and a loser to his face, this man found a way with a straight face to blame the experts. That is genius. Do you hear me? Do you know the level of confidence you got to have to break a woman's heart? This man came out and said, I told her she can come with me. That's on her. Wow. I mean, listen, can you imagine being a terrible employee and then quitting, and then your job says, listen, we want to take you back, and then you quit again, and then y'all mutually come back? I mean, you've just been a terrible employee, been showing up late, all types of stuff, and then on the day they come and be like, hey man, let's just I know you don't. Ernest, hey Ernest, on the day that you come back, is that Ernest? Or who you looking at?
I'm looking at the screen to make sure I'm not freezing.
Oh, okay, sure. Hey Ernest, everybody say hi to Ernest. Wave your hands. So on the day of your exit interview, where y'all just like, listen, this was a toxic relationship. This is terrible. You were the worst employee we've ever had. To go into your boss's office and be like, you should have never even gave me that job. that is genius.
I told you what I had on my resume, what I could do, and you gave me the one assignment out of all the assignments that I couldn't do.
All these other departments that y'all have, y'all got white departments and black departments, Hispanic departments. Y'all could have put me in any of these departments, and you had the whole company. And this is the department you chose for me. I said, wow.
The audacity. Pastor Cal literally was like, look, this Pastor Cal told him, you are the common denominator. You have had 2 previous engagements already. And now you have a failed marriage. I think you need to think deeply about what you're going to do into your next relationship because you are the problem. And he was just like,
yo, after he said that, he said, well, I don't really see where this conversation is going. So you don't see where it's going. Yo, I don't care. Listen, I don't care what y'all say. That man is the John Maxwell of ratchet men. If you are trying to be a terrible person and you don't want to feel no shame or conviction about it, that is the keynote speaker for you. That man, he didn't crack.
And then he said, when you see Paige, like, can you just apologize to her for what you put her through? He said, I can't do that. I can't do that.
All right. So maybe this is just me. The part that floored me the most is when he said, hey, man, you bought a car for your ex-fiance.
And he's the mother of his child.
Oh, no. He said, no. He
ex-fiance? Okay.
He said, you bought a car for your ex-fiance and then talk to your wife about it. You're married. He said, well, you know, that's just the way I'm wired. I actually was thinking about buying a house. I was like, I don't know. Did somebody hand you the wrong script? Because you don't have any of your lines down right. You are not supposed to say that. I don't think that's what's supposed to come after that statement. I think
he said, well, no, I work hard and I want my children, you know, I want to build an inheritance. I was thinking about buying her a house.
Pastor Cal said she's not even born yet. He said, and I just went to commercial. I said, who is this man?
I don't know what be going through his head. What are y'all saying? Jamal said, no, you can't body him. Chris is sensitive. Remember what happened when his friends confronted him with the truth? He walks out of the room. I mean, he did. He kind of, you know, ended the conversation with Pascal when he said, I don't know where this conversation is going. That's his way to get out of it. Like, I don't like this. You know what? White women do that. I don't like where this conversation is going. I feel attacked and I'm done.
Listen, next season, you're going to have to be Mormon and have dedicated your life to abstinence. And they might not even let you on the show if you've had a relationship since the 5th grade. They might not even. The criteria for next year is going to be.
Ever been engaged? Out of there.
Them experts are going to be asking all types of questions.
That's funny, Veronica. I would have been more surprised if he actually agreed to apologize. Right. Yeah, I don't understand what Paige want. What else? I think Paige should just listen to his consultation with Dr. Cal and just get the rest of her closure. He didn't like your face, and he's not going to apologize. You're going to have to get your closure from the Lord you've been talking to this whole time.
He said, listen, man, all the stuff you told us, you said you weren't picky, all the stuff you said you wanted, and you said she was perfect on paper. He said, she was. He said, no, so tell me what changed. She was like, nothing changed. It was just her face. He was like, but you can.
True. They had a hard time casting next season because women say, you won't Chris me, period. I wish Chris was sitting with someone other than Pastor Cal because I wanted someone to cuss. Oh, Dr. Pepper was finna cuss him out. That's why she I'm almost sure she requested to not even see his face. Almost sure.
I would under no other circumstances would I suggest this, but I'm looking forward to the reunion just so I can hear what Clara and Virginia have to say about him. I'm kind of ready.
True.
They're going to let him have it, and he's going to walk off and not come back. And I'm ready for it.
Right.
And you know who's going to let him have it? Kevin Frazier is gonna let him have it.
Oh, I was like, who was Kevin? I'm like, Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels will probably support him
for sure. I'm curious, if there were so many queens in ATL, why didn't Chris just use his finesse to get one? Period. He thinks they're all out for his money. So they need a Black woman expert if they continue to cast. Hi, BM, by the way. Hi, I'm glad to see you here. They need a Black woman expert if they continue to cast Black couples for sure. They need a side console or something.
They need to just let Pastor Cal match the Black couples, because I don't think this was him
alone.
Yeah, just like, hey, if they're Black, just
slide
let
them this way.
Yeah, it's like it's a workflow issue. Just give it to Pastor Cal. Let him handle it.
Not a workflow. So that's going to make an SOP. But that's all I have on Paige and Chris. If y'all don't have nothing else on Paige and Chris, I don't have much to say about them. Yeah, I'm done talking about them. I kind of wish like they didn't have to film anymore. So, but they got to fulfill their contractual obligations. So
I'm going to repent after I say this, but I was just hoping somebody would just, I don't know, just like swing on them or something. I don't know. Sure. Just, like
one of her fathers or her brother, that would have been nice. Jerry, don't. Okay, not on my one. Like, no. Yeah, she would have gave. And then how y'all are doing all the consoles for the couples. This show would be hilarious.
Now, Ayana Fix My Life with Chris. Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So let's see what happened.
You saw that comment?
Did I what?
There's a comment.
Did you see her decision day for Paige and Chris? I did not. I didn't see that in the previews after the show. Is that a clip from the internet? Because y'all know. Oh, Siobhan, you saw it. What happened in the clip? Tell me what happened. So, okay. So after the consultations, Paige moves out of her apartment, still confused at why the marriage didn't work. And she says the right man is worth the wait at this point. So good for her. Hopefully, well, we know she didn't believe that, but blessings to her. No, I can't take it. Okay. So who should we go to next? I'll let you choose. Kasaun.
Let's go to Clara and Ryan. How y'all feel about that?
I like that. I think it'd be quick because they were just lying. So Clara and Ryan, where my notes. So Clara met with Dr. Pepper and Ryan met with Pastor Cal. I don't know why I keep calling him Dr. Cal. Is he a doctor? Let me put some respect on his name. But anyway, Clara meets with Dr. Pepper and right. Lies. Clara, Dr. Pepper is like, tell me about the relationship. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. How do you feel? What would you rate your relationship from a scale of 1 to 10? Clara said 10 out of 10. All this screaming and yelling you doing to the girls 2 days ago, and your relationship is 10 out of 10?
We watched you hump an overpass. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10.
She said, I don't get it. I'm getting him off every night. And he's okay, calm down. First of all, who are you yelling at? Anyway, before we even get to that, let's just
I know when they be leaving her, them producers be like, all right, girl, you all right? We're gonna leave now.
Before that, Dr. Pepper brought up something that was early on in the season about their Christian family dynamic and what that was going to be like, because she feels like it's going to be a bigger it probably will be a bigger discussion in the future. She thinks that they should actually have a conversation about that before decision day, because if Ryan wants to grow his family and live as a Christian family, and Clara is kind of like, I can take it, I can leave it. She's saying you need to talk to him about that. And then she started talking to her about the sex, and she, Claire, she's telling Clara, like, wait, am I reading the right thing? Hold up.
Let me know if you need me to go, because it's a lot.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Dr. Pepper is talking to her about her marriage, and she is legitimately acting like she cannot think of any, both of them had to dig to get them to say that everything wasn't perfect. And then here's how on it Dr. Pepper was. This is how ready for war she was. She did her little monologue, and she was like, some couples have problems. Some couples think it's cool to stop acting perfect. Watch what I do. Like, essentially, that's what she said. I'm paraphrasing. But she's like, some people think they're perfect and they're not. It's like Clara in the background, like, and she's like, yo,
I agree, Veronica. That's probably exactly what happened.
That's a fact. It was opposite. Yeah. And
thank you. Because I was like, my notes they're not so I have notes about Ryan down here. Why don't I have notes about Clara? Where I put them at? Continue.
So here's what I need help with. I need someone watching this right now to explain to Ryan that he is not running for public office on this show. The way he's answering these questions, he's trying to give me like a lot of Senator Obama 2007, and I don't understand. That man said, she said, how does your wife feel about sex? And this man, with a straight face, opened his mouth and said, I should probably ask her about that. So,
sir,
you should probably ask her about that. Where have you been?
And what's funny is right before
that's exactly what it is. Sure.
Right before the episode, I was watching the last few minutes of they do like where they have the people and they watch the episode and they have their comments and stuff, whatever it's called, right before. And the part where Claire was going off and talking to the girls about how she's so frustrated, whatever, get him off every night, whatever. Ryan was the one on that particular episode. So they were like, Ryan, how did you feel about that? I unmuted my TV so fast. He was like, so the lady asked him if he knew that she was that frustrated. And he was like, yeah, I knew. I mean, we're very, very open with communication about that. And she, we talked about it all the time and she told me all the time. And then, so we get to this. So then this episode starts and he's in the consultation with Dr. Pepper and he's like, I don't really know. I should ask her. So was she telling you or not, sir? Pick a story.
Do you think, theory number 2, do you think that he has an unhealthy desire to appear that he knows everything and has it under control?
I don't think that is that he wants to know everything. I think that he just doesn't want to look bad. He doesn't want to look like a villain of any type. Very conscious of the cameras, wants to, not embarrass his family. And I think that he just doesn't want to look bad. So he's keeping a lot of things to himself, away from the cameras. And anytime he's going to talk to somebody of authority, it's going to be like very generic. So when Dr. Pepper asked him about the sex, that's where my notes come in. She was telling him that Clara probably feels she may feel rejected and that he needs to be more specific about his emotional needs and not just telling her we're going to do it whenever we do it. Like, you need to be more specific. That's what everybody's been saying. But ain't nobody been saying it to him, but she said it to him. So we're happy about that, I guess.
That man said, wow, okay. And then went back to her and essentially said absolutely nothing.
So, I see where my confusion is. So then Clara talks to Pastor Cal, says her relationship is 10 out of 10. And she said that she loves Ryan, but she's not going to tell him. I completely understand that. I completely understand her. I'm about to start freezing. I see it already. Her hesitation about Side note, I was talking to I was over at the church.
Come on, Deaconess.
I was over at the church.
I'm so glad to be in the number one more time.
Working on the live stream issues that we have in that church.
Ironic.
Hey, cousin.
Ironic, but go ahead.
Right. And the pastor I was talking to, one of the pastors at my church, he was like, I was telling him, I'm like, something wrong with my internet. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. And he was like, it's probably not your internet. You shouldn't be having none of those problems because you don't have, it's just you in the house. I'm like, exactly. And he's like, no, something's wrong. You need to call them and tell them to come out and fix it. Apparently he worked for the company. So I'm gonna try to get him to act like he my daddy and tell them what to do so that I can get my internet upgraded. And he said, I probably got the old router. So if I upgrade to the new router, I should be completely fine.
So the people in your church don't know you're shacking with Ernest?
Is that what you got out of that story?
I know. I'm saying I probably wouldn't have told everybody watching that your church doesn't know that y'all live. Sorry about that.
Okay, see, it's not just me. Other people's having the issues too. Okay, yo, I am not shacking up. Okay, I am not. For the people who are new here,
awkward.
Not shacking up with anyone.
If you're looking for somebody to pose as your daddy, Ernest. Ernest is already a grown man.
My stomach. Whew, okay.
Sorry, guys. Didn't mean for that to come out. Let's all act like that didn't happen.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. I just had to make that point. I'm not out here not paying my bills. I need y'all to know I pay my bills. I do.
Oh, we know your bill. We know your bills getting paid. That router ain't the only ancient thing in that house. You were saying?
I was saying that Clara loves Ryan, but she doesn't want to tell him. And I completely understand her hesitation on telling him. I wouldn't tell him either. If you holding all this other stuff from me, I ain't finna tell you all that. I'm gonna wait till whenever I feel like it. Because she said that he's had, and then Clara said that he's had multi-year relationships with no sex. And so I'm going back to my theory that he is a virgin, regardless of what he says.
Yo, all right.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's strange.
He's a Christian.
Right. I wouldn't say it's strange, but usually Christians get married a little faster, right? If they're not having it. Hi, one hand of mine. And I literally don't know if I'm pronouncing your name. I say it the same every time. You ain't correcting me, so I think it's the same.
Yeah, if we can get a phonetic spelling in the chat,
please. I'm just making it
so
up.
Okay. I have a. It's
definitely strange if he's not a virgin. Exactly. That's why I'm going back to my theory. Yeah.
This episode really confused me when it came to them because
hey,
he's not. Oh, you said it right. Hanamai. Bet. All right. So we've said it all along. Although Telltale Tasha over here has an excuse for everyone when the truth is obvious. But
when it's obvious.
But oh yeah, you walk by hit and run and be like, I don't know, maybe he hit the car first. So there's something going on with him, and I don't understand what it is.
I mean,
I'm very close to wondering what's weird about this situation. It's not normal. It's not normal. Does anybody else get the impression that she's like around the house interacting with him when the camera's off, and he's in his head thinking something completely different from what he's actually telling her? That this isn't just an isolated topic?
I don't know.
It would be hard for me to believe that their communication is fluid on everything else except for this.
I wish we saw them talk more. And a lot of people feel like their silence is awkward. I don't. I feel like they are comfortable with each other because I mean they are not. There's no lack of affection. Like they're constantly touching. But when the cameras are on, they don't do much talking. And like I said, I don't feel like it's always awkward. I just think there is a comfortability there. So I don't know what they're talking about off camera. I don't think there always has to be, and I just wanted to make the point that like, just because they're quiet doesn't mean that like something's wrong. I don't know if
something not right. Oh, I mean, obviously you're Telltale Tasha, so you have a reason why it's not awkward. But go ahead.
I mean, I am super fine with silence. Like if I'm with someone and like I'm comfortable in silence. I don't feel like it's awkward. Like sometimes you don't got nothing to say, but you're cool being around each other. Like you don't have that with your wife, just comfortable or being around her. You don't have to be talking and always have to be doing something. You're just comfortable. No?
But it doesn't freak you out that here's the part that bothers me. I feel like so many people are advocating for Clara and being like, Ryan, what's wrong with you? Ryan, why don't you just do it? Why aren't you giving her what she needs? But every time she's really on camera talking about it, she's not saying it to the severity of what she's saying off camera. Like when she's by herself or she's with her girls, she's like, like she's describing crack cocaine. But then when she gets with him, she's like, you know, wow, now that I think about it, I can see how I could quite possibly be a little sexually frustrated. It's like, wait, where's that energy? Like, why don't you just express the energy there? And I just do not understand how somebody who is not interested in pursuing physical interaction doesn't just give a timeline. I don't understand. Like it to me, if we talking about a 1 to 10 scale, I think their communication may be at like a 3 or a 4.
You think so?
There's no way that you are talking to all these experts, all these people, and to each other about the same issue, and it's missing.
Well, the thing that, I mean, this one particular issue is something that they're obviously honing in on, right? Like, I mean, obviously it's a big thing, but this is one thing that seems to be the point of contention for them. It doesn't seem like, well, they haven't shown us that there's any other things that they're having huge issues on. So I don't know if their communication overall is a 3 or 4. I mean, on this thing, and she said she doesn't like talking about it to him because she says the more she feels like she talks about it, the more it kind of pushes it down the road. And I feel like, and I'm not saying on this particular subject, but I feel like a number of men are like that. You keep pushing them to do something, They're like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and they kind of, you're not gonna make me do something. I'm gonna do it when it's my decision to do it. You know what I mean? Or tell me if you feel like that at any point.
All right, that's fine in theory, but in practice, she's literally saying, hey, I know this is a trigger for you. I know it, whatever. So just tell me, like, do you think it'll actually happen at some point? Which I give her credit for asking. And he goes, yeah, I just want to be emotionally connected. And it's like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. She's like, well, what does that look like? And he's like, just trust. She's like, does somebody have an emotional connection on Amazon for this dude, please? Because I don't know. This man wants infinity stones and they are scattered across the multiverse. Where are these things? I don't understand. Just say it. Like literally, hey,
he got to know how to express his feelings.
Until we're off camera, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Let me read what y'all saying. Veronica said, yeah, I think he needs to just come out and say he's a Christian and wants to follow the Bible. Nah. If he wanted to follow the Bible, he would be having sex with her right now. Because you ain't supposed to be withholding sex from your spouse like that. Unless it's agreed upon.
And that's another thing. All right. Here's what I don't understand about Clara. Why do you have so much hope and frustration about this man saying that he loves you? And he ain't never said it to anybody. Nobody. I don't think he said it to his mama. I don't think he said it to his daddy. I don't think he know how to spell the word. What are you waiting for? You done took this man on a helicopter. You done took him to the. You done took him.
Not
to
you took him. He took her.
Whatever. She went. They've been to the mountaintop and the valley low, and couldn't find nobody. Looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. He's not gonna say it. He's hiding something. Can we admit to that at this point?
It's something that he's not saying for sure. Yeah. So about this point, I didn't mention. So after the consult, she's talking to Ryan, and she basically was saying she doesn't believe you have to be spiritually equally yoked to raise kids. Her dad doesn't go to church, but they did. And what do you think about that? Because I actually know a family, and the wife and the children, as long as I've known them for, how old am I? For like 20 years. I've known them for like 20 years. The father doesn't attend the church. He believes in Jesus, but he doesn't attend the church for his own reasons. He studies his Bible at home and stuff. But the wife and children, they come. And the children come because they want to come. Like nothing, they have their curiosities. They do, they learn, blah, blah, blah. And they still decide to come on their own now that they're grown. And their marriage is one that I look up to. They don't have issues and things like that. What do you think about that?
I think it depends on the couple. And I think the conversation about the church, I don't think it's one conversation. Like I think it's possible for kids to not be connected to a church, and you have to say to yourself, I have to find a church that feeds my children. Like when people say like, do you have to go to the same church? The question is, are they going to church in general, or are we talking about specific churches? Clara's like, I don't even care if they want to study different religions. Like, yeah, I'm not forcing nothing on them. And a lot of that, admittingly, what she said was she felt like that's how she grew up. But she also, her family didn't rock like that. Well, no, was that Virginia or was that her? That said, like, my parents didn't, like, my dad didn't go. Was that
her dad? No, that was Clara. Her dad didn't go, but her mom went.
Yeah. It's different for everybody. I think one of the things I appreciated is that my wife and I are on the same page when it comes to that. But I understand people who say like, I like this church, I like that church, and you got to find what works for you. But I think it's different for everybody. I'm not going to be like, your kids ain't going to make it in because they don't want to go to church. You got to navigate that, because what you also don't want to do is raise people who are intentional about making sure nobody goes to church because they feel like they were always forced to. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like, I know parents who take Sundays off and then just have church at home with their kids, just so it's not like it's about being in the building. It's like, no, you can still feed your children spiritually. So, I mean, every family is different, but you got to navigate that. But I know in order to take your kids to church, you have to have sex with your wife at some point.
For sure. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't think she would move her stuff in if she didn't see some type of future after the show. Yeah, he's actively, creating this atmosphere with her for the porch and building stuff with her. Like, who made the comment? I saw it at the corner of my eye. Crystal. I wonder if he doesn't want to consummate the marriage. If he's not positive it will last past 4 weeks. I think that he plans on it lasting after the 4 weeks, or he wouldn't be moving her stuff in every few days. I would feel like he would be like, oh, let's just wait. And building stuff around his house. I feel like he's confident that they're going to say yes. I do feel like I don't think that he feels like he's lying to himself when he says he thinks that they have a great relationship. He doesn't feel like the sex thing is that big of an issue, but on everything else, he feels like the relationship is great. So I do think that he's definitely going to say yes on decision day. So I don't think that that's the part that's keeping him from having sex. It's not that.
It's just something that's not.
Lots are wrong. Sex is a big part, and the fact that they are on two different pages is a red flag. The real issue about sex is that they communicate. Yeah, something about that conversation is wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Something's not. There's something happening off camera that we just don't know about. It has to be.
She has no depth, though. Clara's personality is boring. It's just boring. She has nothing to say. It's funny. I don't think Clara's personality is boring. I think it's boring around Ryan because he's boring. She has a very big and dynamic personality. I don't know if you remember earlier in the season, she's the one that was bringing lingerie, she kind of had a bridal party for them. She, got them together, got them lingerie. She has a big personality actually. But when she gets around him, she quiets down a lot. Siobhan thinks he's not really into her.
Now I'm starting to entertain the possibility because it's just like, what? It's just the fact that you're like, our relationship is perfect. It's 10 out of 10. And that she's saying it too, even though she knows.
The fact that she said that, I was like, okay, so y'all are just, y'all are actually delusional.
The only thing that I could point to make it make sense is if the Lifetime editors have literally taken every single thing they've ever said about sex and cut it up to make it seem like it's a bigger issue than what it is. Other than that, I do not get it.
Yeah. We haven't seen her with a backbone when it comes to Ryan. She wants to please him and never exactly.
She's trying to keep that emotional connection. She's like, I'm not trying to mess my
exactly. She's like, I don't want nothing to fall out. Nothing to fall out that's gonna turn him off.
She said, I gotta
farther away.
I gotta get 30 gold stars. I got 3 of them. I got 27 left to go. And then she said, I don't mind if my kids study other religions. And then he said, oh, that's 1 star. Back down to 2.
Well, exactly what one hand of mine is saying. Clara's lack of caring about religion really doesn't help the connection with Ryan. They should just go their separate ways. Yeah, that might be I don't know. They haven't really talked about that, though. They just started talking about that again this episode. So I don't know, but it ain't gonna help.
She would come around though. She would come around if they stayed together.
Definitely sexually immature for sure, because he can't talk about it at all. That when Dr. Viviana, is she a doctor? When Dr. Viviana, I don't know nobody titles.
Okay.
When she No. When they got the assignment with that blue paper or whatever it was, that blue envelope, and she asked him, what's your favorite position? And he gave that childish answer. Oh, at that point, I knew he was either a virgin or he don't know what he's talking about. Because I didn't even know positions.
He said,
and I didn't nothing either. Huh?
He said, director of operations. Like he was trying to change the subject. He's field position. I like football.
Ryan should have found love a different route, mess. I don't know. I hear you, but I don't feel like that. I feel like he was ready for the commitment. Why were they matched together if they didn't have the same faith? No, Clara grew up Christian. I feel like she ain't deep up in the church no more. She went to Bible college, and then she's like, she kind of fell out. Whatever they taught her at that Bible school rubbed her the wrong way.
No, that's an honest question, because she sounds, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but it appears as though she's coming off as agnostic.
I think that's the direction she's more toward. Okay, Reese, you understand what I was talking about? True. Okay, so y'all feel me. Okay, I'm sorry I'm behind in the comments. I just want to see what y'all think.
That's a fact. Sure. Yeah, no, sure.
It's important for family to be together and worship together, whether at home or somewhere. When kids are older and able to make conscious decisions, and that's another thing. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think she wants to make sure so bad she's trying to. Yep. Okay. It's hard on the kids when dad doesn't go, when he's supposed to be the priest of the home. But I mean, in the situation I was talking about, the father at home, he studies, like, and he lives, actually lives out the, the concepts and things. So luckily for them, this particular family, they don't have those kinds of issues. Okay, that was so awkward. The tantric yoga thing was awkward. Ryan needs to stop. Ryan needs to stop wearing BLM shirts and just wear a shirt that says sure. So I never have, it's so funny. I say sure a lot too, so I don't mind it. And I feel like I'm about to start getting on people's nerves.
That's a fact. And the thing about it though, is he says sure, not as a way of agreeing. I think he honestly just says it to end the thought. Like, let's just stop. Sure. No, sure.
Now every time I say it, I'm gonna be self-conscious, but it just comes natural.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
If you guys
shot glasses.
If we get enough votes in the chat, I will make a shirt. I will make an EOLC shirt. And I'm being so honest. I will make a shirt if enough people like it.
Okay. I got you, Siobhan. You know what, Siobhan? I have never seen your dad a day in my life. That's wild.
We never seen her. Moving on.
Okay, so I think we can stop talking about Clara and Ryan. That's enough of them. Who's next? You don't know.
No, I know exactly what it is. It's just wow. Okay. All right.
Best secretary ever.
That's a fact. We got EOLC merch.
The other delusional couple, who is that, Jamal? Because
I think
it's Erik and Virginia. Okay. So let's do let's do Virginia and Erik.
Oh boy, here we go.
So before the consultations, we got to see Virginia and Erik come on screen. Virginia's sister came into town to visit with her 2 children. And Virginia's sister is a very dynamic character. She was very excited. She was so happy to see her sister. She's like, I never see her. She's always so busy now. Like, I'm so happy. Which was cool. I think Virginia, it's funny because I feel like that's the spirit Virginia had before this marriage. And this marriage has beaten her down to the point that she is just, her whole demeanor was like a whole nother person. And you could tell sitting next to her sister how different she was, because at the beginning she was just like that.
She's like, I used to really enjoy being around the kids and the dogs and my sister. Why are you talking like that?
She is beaten down. This marriage has dragged her.
I don't know what has happened to me. I really used to enjoy spending time with my family.
This marriage has dragged her. So, yeah, these husbands this season have really just taken the light out of their wives' eyes. Seriously, like Clara's personality is gone. Paige's light and personality was gone. Virginia, like these husbands are the worst this season. Like their wives are going through it. This is rough.
Sidebar. Can we have a moment of silence for Paige having to watch all of this back?
Yeah. Siobhan. Yeah, so the sister's like, how about you kids go walk Rocky with Erik. I'm nervous about what vodka is gonna look like in a few years if she doesn't put the bottle down. Her skin is tore about 20. Child, we're gonna talk about that too, because I was concerned after the consultations.
Y'all are really on one tonight.
Danielle,
y'all are on one tonight.
The wig on the
hold on. Before you talk about the wig, there you go. Go ahead.
The wig on the confessional when she was moving out that apartment. I said, as much as we have seen the producers and the fourth wall has been broken this season, they could have told her, they're supposed to be her friends at this point. They could have told her that her wig was looking like that. You know what? I'm not even. Come on back, Kasaun. Just come on back. So
I didn't see anything wrong with her wig, by the way.
So her sister's like, kids, go take a walk with Erik with the dog, right? The sister asked Virginia, can I trust him with my kids? Just joking, like people be doing. I don't know him like that. Can I trust with my kids? You sure you trust him? Virginia took so long to answer that question. I would have went to the door and called my kids back up in that room. Hey, I need y'all back here. Why? She said, I don't really know. I ain't seen him with no kids. So that was concerning. And she tells her sister that he's controlling. And she was really, it's funny how much she was trying to downplay it. It's unfortunate how much she was trying to downplay it. But I'm so sorry for Virginia. And it's weird that I was not sorry for her at the beginning, and I am now.
Well, I try to tell you, Captain Karen is dangerous.
Wait, in ATL, it's a law. Your lace is late.
Hold on.
I'm not gonna put it on the screen.
No, before you read it, there you go. Go ahead, continue.
I'm not talking. We on a different couple. So then it's time for the consultations. Dr. Cal visits with Virginia, and Jamal be having the quotes ready. She said, "We don't fight about anything," and then says, "I hope they can help us because it's breaking us now." Like, all these couples got to pick a story. Are you perfect or not? Do you need help with your marriage or not?
Yo, don't Erik.
Right.
Ain't Erik starting to come off like one of them Lifetime movie villains? Where he's just like, I fly a plane, I like things, but I like order around the house. And then he comes around a corner with a jackknife.
Yes, yes.
Virginia running down the stairs with a bottle of Hennessy, ah!
So Virginia finally opens up about why she doesn't, she's 50-50 on kids. And she told Dr. Cal that she's scared of being a bad mom. That's one of the reasons why she's not sure about having kids. And Dr. Cal he's so great. He's like, Virginia, why would you say that? Oh my gosh. And she basically said that, her parents' relationship really jacked her up, and she was talking to her dad about it, and he didn't even realize things that he did when she was a child affected her in the way that it did, and she's scared that that's something that would happen to her kids. I guess she realizes how jacked up she is. She's like, look, I don't want to do anything to children that I know is going to be a problem. And he basically told her, like, if you're worried about that, you're going to be a good mom. Like that. Usually people who don't care is the people who are not going to be a good mom.
Well, to Virginia's credit, she knows that when that baby is born, that baby will be unable to drive for the next 3 years because it will already be inebriated. And kudos to her for knowing that. I guess knowing that makes her a good mom. Sure.
And especially with all the guilt she has about the dogs. And then so her cats aren't even living there because Erik he's not actually allergic, but he said he's allergic, so she can't even take care of her cats. So she's just jacked up all around.
Y'all and these dogs, I love y'all.
And her cat, she has 2 cats that she has not seen since the beginning of the season because he lied and said he's allergic. So, and then Pastor Cal tells her that she needs to tell him how the ultimatums make her feel. And then Dr. Pepper visits with Erik, and Erik goes back into the sob story about this dog. I'm like, boy, you are dragging it. Nobody care about this dog like you do. Why do you care about this dog so much? And Dr. Pepper said as much. Why do you care about this dog so much?
No. So the best part about this show is the same part when a comedian tells a great joke. It's when you say the thing exactly the way I have been thinking it. And he goes, he's going into his Captain Karen Republican National Convention rant. Like, this dog is half yours, half mine. He think he King Solomon. Cut it in half. Half of it is mine. Half of it is yours. That was a Deaconess reference, by the way.
I caught you.
Oh, I know you got a Deaconess. And I mean, goodness gracious, Dr. Pepper said the thing. She said, what if that dog's not half yours? Where have you been, Dr. Pepper? We've missed you.
Right. Like, where have you been this whole time?
You didn't score no points in the first 3 quarters, but God dog it, you are coming through in the clutch, Dr. Pep.
Bringing some pep back into this show for real. So she said, leave that dog alone. Leave that dog alone.
What if that dog isn't half yours? He said, what do you mean? She said, well, it was her dog. If it was a kid, do you think that kid is yours because y'all just got married a month ago? He said, I guess I never thought about it that way. She said, and then she gave him a look like, who's this guy?
Well, I mean, when you first meet somebody, especially if the child's father is still in their life, like, okay, yeah, you my husband now, but you got to work in these parameters that I'm giving you about my child. And then when I see how you do with the child, then I can, but this child just ain't half yours just because we got married. Calm down.
The point that Dr. Pepper was making that I don't think he fully got is that the ownership of this being yours, then leading into I'm the husband, so I make the rules, negates the fact that there's a process that over time, something that was hers can become yours. But you don't run this. Let me tell you something. If I marry you and I have a kid, and that kid lives in a house, of course, we're going to build to this place. But what you're not going to do is be like, I told you that you cannot watch TV in this room. And I'm like, why are you talking to my daughter like that? And you're like, it's our daughter. It's like, what? No, that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
And even odder, that is a dog. Like,
he was like, I don't know. He was very, very pressed about this dog. It's very concerning.
He done talked about this dog for a month straight. If we really stop
with everyone, he
talked about the dog when she was out of town. With what's his face? With Ryan.
Yes, with Ryan.
He done talked about this in 2 sessions. He done had the whole thing about the dog. He's talking about this dog more than he's talking about Virginia.
He's talking about Virginia as he's talking about the dog. Everything that's wrong with the dog is what he thinks is wrong with Virginia.
I think on decision day, he's going to choose to stay married to the dog.
Because he's saying, I don't like your manners. You're too wild. You're this, you're that. He's talking about Virginia.
That's deep.
So, and then he tells Dr. Pepper that she's, he said he wanted somebody independent, but she's a little too independent. And Dr. Pepper insinuates that she might be an alcoholic and that might be the cause of a lot of their conflicts. And Dr. Pepper was actually concerned about this and said, you might want to have a talk with her about that. And what's interesting is that somebody definitely needs to have a talk with her about that, but it can't be Erik. It can't be Erik. Erik is already shown himself way too controlling to have a conversation, to come to her and say, your drinking is concerning. She's never going to receive that from him. Ever. So he ain't the person.
She might actually drink in his face while he says it.
Oh, when he brought it up to her, she completely shut down. She said, I'm not talking about it. And that scared me a little because it made me think that the drinking for her is like, we say, yeah, she's alcoholic, she got a problem. But when he said, Dr. Pepper was saying that maybe, the drinking is what's causing our fight. And she said, we would have these arguments with or without the alcohol. And he said, okay, well, maybe when we want to have a conversation, and what he said wasn't a bad suggestion. When we have these conversations, how about in those moments, we make sure that we're both completely sober and clear-headed. And she wasn't okay with that, which I thought was a little bit concerning.
Okay, which brings us to a crossroads in interpretation.
Okay.
When I was making fun of her being an alcoholic this whole season, I absolutely meant it. Were you joking this whole time?
I mean, I meant it, but I'm like, I don't know her for real. Like, I see her drinking a lot, but like, I don't know her. Like, you know what I'm saying? We only see what they show us. So, but I'm like, okay, yeah, she's drinking a lot, but I can't diagnose her. You know what I mean? So I'm like, she can be edited a certain way, but she did drink a lot. I thought, okay, she got a little bit of a drinking problem. She need to calm down. But her face in that moment, like it made me like, because I ain't really been concerned for her. That's my thing. Like, I knew she drank a lot, but I wasn't concerned. And when I saw her face in that moment, my heart kind of dropped. I was like, oh, okay. That's scary.
I've been knew she was, there was what do you call it? Substance abuse or whatever. However, I've been concerned since the honeymoon when they woke up for the first time. He said, how's it feel to be married? And she said,
oh my God,
feels good. Let's get some wine. I said, oh no. That was the first thing.
Well, I was wishing mine. She's 26. She likes to party, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, she's a party girl, blah, blah. I get it. But I got scared in this particular episode, in that particular moment. I was like, whoa.
Hey, Siobhan, you was drinking like that at 26?
People became white girl wasted.
For real? The good doctor was getting drunk at 26?
Oh, I don't know if she was.
She just said What'd she say?
She said, I thought her drinking is consistent with a 26-year-old. So basically, I'm a little scared.
All
the
right.
fact that you don't want to have a conversation or you don't want to have arguments sans alcohol, that's a little scary, sis.
Can I tell you the most concerning part about their whole interaction for me? And we have to go back just a little bit. They came back from their time with the experts.
Right. Period.
No, Dr. Siobhan. All right, let's just address this now. Tasha's clearly shacking, so that's out the question.
What?
We've already called Virginia and Erik a drunkard, and you have come out. Nobody said anything to you, Dr. Siobhan. I love you, cuz. But you came out in support of the alcohol abuse. We said, I think she has a problem. You were like, we all had a problem at 26. And nobody, we were all on this train. And you decided to get off that train and walk in the opposite direction. And now you mad. Listen, however you were living the EOLC, I'm assuming you're older than 26 at this point. Probably at least 27, because that's how ages work. But Tasha shacking is not even up for debate.
How can you say I'm shacking with somebody you've never seen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were a Christian. You ever seen God in person?
So if I'm shacking with anybody, it's God, period.
I mean, whatever you call him when y'all alone, it's fine with me. But I'm saying, Siobhan, I'm just saying, don't jump in with Tasha, because she's clearly shacking and lying to her whole church leadership about what's really going on. And that's why she keeps the channel separate, so she just be like stretching and talk about shows she knows nobody in her church watching, putting wigs on top of her dreads. She does a lot of things on her channel that she knows people in her church ain't never gonna find. That church will never see this. Now, Culture New Norm.
Tell them about it.
Culture New Norm is gonna know what's going on, but the church at large, never. She said, one of my pastors, he'll never find this.
He knows about this show. His wife watches Mavs, and I told her to watch.
Okay, fine. If that's what you took out of what I said, sure. But Siobhan, you decided to come out and say that when we were all 26, we were all baptized in Hennessy, and I wasn't. But if you were, I'm just gonna assume that's you come talking from a first person narrative, and that's fine. Let's get back to the point. The part that bothered me the most about Virginia and Erik is that they had what I thought was a positive conversation with oh wow. Seems as though Dr. Siobhan has turned on you and admitted that you are shacking.
No, with Jesus.
Oh. I mean, okay, whatever. Sure. So they had this positive talk with the experts where he had to walk away with a different perspective on one of his biggest frustrations with. I'm trying to tell y'all, I don't know what Ernest is doing in the background, but it is distracting her. She is not here right now. This program is not important to her tonight. She is distracted. Do you hear me? And it's fine. I get it.
Looking at a screen. I have dual monitors.
Sure. So here's my issue. I'm about to say Chris. Erik had this wonderful conversation with Dr. Pepper.
What is wrong with y'all?
Oh, snap. Hey, Jerry.
What's wrong with y'all?
Hey, Jerry, how old is he, Jerry? Let the chat, put in the chat. How old is Ernest? Because we don't have pre-production meetings. We just be coming on live.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey Jerry, we need to know. We need to know how old Ernest is. Please let us know in the chat. So they had this wonderful conversation with the experts where Erik comes out of the conversation with a new perspective that he doesn't need to be controlling over this dog and he needs to chill out at home. And then she comes back with this perspective of he's always telling me he's done if I don't have kids, but I need to express how I feel with them. They get in person and all he picks out is the part that he wanted to passive aggressively get out this whole time, which is her drinking. He left.
No, he told her about the dog. He told her, she was like, yes, Dr. Pepper for the win.
And he was like, well, what else we talked about was this drinking. That was the feature act. That drinking was the headliner. You hear me? He was excited to talk about that drinking. He wanted to give a positive out the way. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. He said that's what, I probably need to let low with a dog. She was like, wow, that's great. So what bothered me, she also talked about you drinking as much. And it felt like two people on the brink of divorce.
Oh, for sure.
But
then she was basically telling him about the ultimatums or whatever. And he was saying, no, it's not. I'm not saying I'm going to be done. I'm just saying I'm not going to leave. Sir, what? So she was talking about how, telling him the reason why she didn't want to have kids. She's like, well, first of all, I don't even know if I can have kids. 2, I'm scared I'm going to be a bad mom. What if? And he's like, and you keep saying you're going to leave if we don't have kids. And he's like, no. I didn't mean I'm done if we don't have kids. Of course I'm not going to leave you if something happens and we don't have kids. I just been saying I'm going to leave you if we don't have kids. And she doesn't believe him. And then
he said it without saying it. He said, I wouldn't leave you if it's because you couldn't have kids.
He's like, if biologically you can't, that's different. And then it got to the, because Dr. Pepper had told him like, maybe try to schedule with her a weekend out of the month to hang out if you feel like she's always out with her friends. Just schedule a weekend with her. Instead,
it didn't come out like that.
Instead, he goes to her and says, let's schedule a weekend out. And she's like, that's a great idea. Just let me know ahead of time.
Plan it.
And he's like, no, I feel like I should be able to pick a weekend and you should be willing to cancel for me because I'm your husband. And she's like, that's not scheduling a weekend.
So where do you stand on this? Because I actually see both sides of this 100%. I think they're both right.
I don't think that he means it in the way that's right. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like telling her in his mind, if he has the power, it's like everything is like a power play to him. Whatever, just the same way she wouldn't want to move into his house. I'm not going to hand you this power to say that you just decide when I'm going to cancel my plans and you just decide whenever you feel like it. Because that's like, I see you going out. I don't want you to go out with those people. No. I need you to, I want to do something with you now. So you need to cancel with them because I want to go out with you today. In his head, I don't want you going out with them today. So I'm going to make something up. So you got to cancel with them. That's how I feel like he would take it to the controlling route. And
you shouldn't. Yo, this is just a marriage hint, some wisdom that I got, and it has helped my marriage tremendously. The most important person in the relationship, or the most important person in the relationship between your significant other and your in-laws and your friends and all of that stuff, the most important person, the most responsibility is on you. And that's a fact. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, you're number one, but it's your job to make that person number one, without them having to assert themselves. The moment you have to assert yourself, something is wrong. Like legitimately wrong. It is your job to be the bridge between the two. And the fact that he's already asserting himself
in every area.
Now I understand the point that he was making. In theory, does make sense.
Yes, in theory.
Where he says like, I'm flying, so I may not know that I have a weekend until the middle of the week, and I want to spend time with you.
Pilots get there. This is the thing. People, I know flight attendants, they get their schedules, and then there's some days that they're on call. But if you get your schedule ahead of time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know, if
all of my friends stay on the ground.
She said she wants to know a week in advance. You know if you're flying this week. And even if you're not, when you come home after a couple of days, then we'll say, let's do a rain check for when you come home next Wednesday. Exactly, Danielle. If this was a healthy relationship, she should be able to cancel her plans, but he is a manipulator, so absolutely never. Exactly. He's a manipulator. Right. But
ideally, you don't want to come home and be like, hey, why don't we just stay in the house and watch a movie? You're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm booked up already this weekend. Like, that's not in theory. I understand this is a special story. You know what I'm saying?
Crystal, thank you. Crystal is a flight attendant. Tell us. She said he should have some weeks or months where he knows. He's just dramatizing it to make himself the victim. I don't think it's that deep.
I think it's that deep.
What do you think? What's that deep?
I think his desire to like control her is now it's like emotionally trying to control this. He's wilding. He's legitimately wilding.
She's literally trying to save some semblance of her happy self. And she's probably happiest with her friends because he's just dragging her down. The way you win that is make Danielle.
Wait, let me see the comment. The way you win, the way you win that is to make sure she want to spend time with you, period.
Thank you. I'm so tired. This was coffee. Because I was so tired. Erik should be on 90 Day Fiance with somebody who has no life. What she should do is flip the script, hang out with him 24/7, and then see what he says. I don't know.
I'd be ready to be on the Virginia train, and then I saw the preview for next week where she's like, "Why do I have to come home?" And I'm like, "See, just when we are ready to excuse your blood alcohol count." I
just see the preview. Krista says it's possible he can be on straight reserves, which means he is on call all the time, just because of what company he works for. Okay, that's fair.
Y'all are great, man.
But she said make it work. Also, make it work. If she is running away every time he's home, it's a problem. I mean, that's what people do. They either run away from home every chance they get, or when they get home, they sit in the car for a long time before they come inside.
The issue is that it sounded like when she said plan it, like if you want to do something on the weekend, plan it. It sounded like something that she had expressed as a concern before.
Yeah.
It sounded like she was like, I told you, like, just plan.
They had that conversation before when he was saying that she should cancel things for him. She was like, what? So I'm sure she said it then. Okay, so are we done with them? We done with them.
I mean, I know he probably like the one time I took you out, you was in the bathroom for 45 minutes. I couldn't even find you. I was sitting by myself reading Fox News and all right.
So we want to do Jacob and Haley or Briana and Vicente?
Let's do Briana and Vincent.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. Brianna and Vicente, they opened up. They had a little bit of conversation before their consultations. And they were talking about money. Brianna is an engineer. Vincent is a somewhat new entrepreneur, but apparently is doing well. Child, they almost $10,000 a month budget.
Hey, can I just say this off the rip? Am I the only person that caught that Vincent was almost so thrown off by the way she was responding that he almost looked into the camera? He was like, he was about to look into the camera. Like, he just couldn't believe that he was in there by, like, I feel like the producers were in there and he was just trying to look at somebody. He was like, I think we need to take down some expenses. And she was like, I don't think so. You got to live life. He was like,
Brianna is expensive. In no shit, you know what I'm saying? Live your life, girl. She make her money and she want to spend it. I get it. $450 a month for new clothes? A month? What are you buying? Every month. She wearing a new wardrobe every month? Because I wear the same clothes from high school sometimes. Like, I don't understand.
You still wearing clothes from high school?
Some stuff, some shirts that I still think is cute. They still sewn together. They ain't falling apart yet. A lot of stuff from college.
College, I get, but
high school. I got one or two things from high school. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, all right. I'm just saying this now.
Siobhan, bro. For those just listening, Brianna, she said, Brianna not gonna convince me with a Target shirt and box braid.
And then you gonna read it out loud like they can't.
Some people just listen and they need to hear what she said. Brianna not gonna convince me with a Target shirt and box braid. She spent $350 a month.
The views of Telltale shacking up Tasha.
Wow.
And drunken Dr. Siobhan do not necessarily reflect the views of Kasaun Wilson.
But listen, women are expensive, okay? We have a lot of expense. You got the nails, you got the lashes, you got the hair. Hair gets expensive depending on what you're doing to it. She got natural hair, so it shouldn't be as expensive. But if you spend a lot on products, it could be expensive. I don't know. But hair, nails, lashes, clothes, bags, shoes. Okay, but you don't got to buy $450 worth of stuff every month. Oh, then the wax, and then the this, and then the that. I get it. Women, it can get expensive to maintain yourself. I totally get it. I know that. But $450 a month on clothes? And then Vincent was like, let's make our entertainment budget for dates $200 a month. She said, $200? That's one date. Vincent was like, is it?
He tried. He said, we got the TVs. He was trying to name everything. We got napkins here. We got Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A. We got a lot of things here.
We got cookie. We got.
He was. Yeah, he said we have a toaster. He was lost. Like he was trying to find himself.
Oh, now, he was very lost.
So let's hold on. Let's clear some of this up. What she said was she spends $250 on her braids, and the braids last her a month. That's what she said, which comes out to about a little more than $3,000 a year. That's what she said. That's what she said. So let's calm down. Y'all are not. See, this is what y'all do. If the girl said she spent $400 a month on clothes, y'all gonna rip the one outfit she was in and then just rip this girl to shreds. First of all, she is 4'3", She's probably at Toys R Us buying her clothes. I don't know.
First of all, we in a whole pandemic. You're not even. Well, she's in Atlanta, so maybe she is going places.
Atlanta doesn't know about the coronavirus. They have not heard of it. I'm convinced. Whatever, you remember the hex that WandaVision, Wanda put up? That whole hex is over the city of Atlanta. They don't know. They're winning. I think the vaccine is in syrup, and when they go to the Waffle House, they have just been consuming. They've just been consuming the vaccine this whole time.
And you know what, Brianna? Maybe she wears designer.
Oh no! I'm gonna turn my camera off.
Wait, what Jamal said? But they hit on something that is or can be tragic. She spends $400 on clothes and then pays what I miss.
Jerry, you wild, bro.
You know what, Jerry? I'm not even putting that on the screen. If y'all listen to this, you're gonna have to watch the live chat replay to see the disrespect.
Oh, no.
Why do y'all do this? There's something in my eye. So maybe she wearing designer and stuff. I don't know, but
I mean, she bought Vincent new shoes. She did say that in the interviews.
He did say that. She said, "Wife, you bought me new shoes." Okay, hey, what can you say? And
budget wise, Vincent doesn't wear socks with his shoes, so you're saving a little money. You can add a little more money to the clothes budget with the money you're saving on the sock budget.
But if Vincent is giving his shoes away, you're just throwing money down the drain.
And so, Jamal, this is why you scare me a little bit. How do you see that on the screen?
Jamal, tell us what it said, because I couldn't see that close. I was trying to figure out the salaries. I wanted her to say it, but
I feel like Jamal has a shareable PDF that he's going to put in the chat.
Please do. Send DM me.
This is, guys, we have to have some context here. They are in Atlanta. This is not.
Brianna's an engineer. This is probably hers alone.
I'm just saying, you can get a nice apartment for not as much money as it is in other areas. By the way, I just want to say this out loud because it's been on my heart. There's a house in LA that just went on the market. Are you all right?
Yeah, I want to know what was on your heart.
Okay, you just quickened that. I wasn't sure. There's a house that just went on the market in LA, not too far from me, that went on the market for $780,000. And it is 750 square feet. And that is real estate in Los Angeles. It is legit. I'll send you a picture of it. It is legitimately like 800 square feet at the most. And it's over $700,000. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. But they're in Atlanta. Atlanta, you can give the realtor like 300, like you can throw them like a couple dollars. You give them like $17. You're good for a couple months.
You can throw them a couple dollars.
Yeah, real estate in Atlanta.
DC just about the same. So they're spending almost $10,000 a month. They could be spending almost $10,000 a month. And Vincent is like, I would rather save some money. And Brianna is like, no. Jamal said it said she made 109 and he made 89. Okay, that's a good amount of money of income to be living in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh, I just texted Tasha, but y'all can see. Can y'all see that?
No, the ring light is a little bit in the way. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. Wow.
Oh yeah, 2 bed, 1 bath.
Yeah, it couldn't be me. So if they make 200,000 a year, does that change your perception of their spending? So, Mike, what you about to buy it?
Probably.
Right. So Mike said 10K, 12 months, that's 120K a year. So I guess that's still 80K of saving, but it's not realistically. So if they made it $200,000 a year, does that change your perception of their spending? No, it doesn't. Because not for me. Because one thing about Vincent that I have come to understand is that Vincent wants to provide for his family, right? He wants to be a provider and he wants to provide for his family. I don't think that he is intimidated by her making more money or anything like that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying he wants to build himself up to a point where he can do the providing for the family comfortably. And I don't think Brianna is understanding that. So even though they make separate, so let me get into the consultations and then we can go more into it. So Dr. Cal meets with Vincent, and Vincent says they take care of each other, which I thought was really sweet. I loved his leather jacket hat combo. He looked real smooth in there. Vicente was Vicente, champagne king. And he admits, oh, am I freezing?
Was she freezing her? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I said, am I freezing?
I was asking him.
Yeah, I be seeing the little thing go up and down. Anyway, he ends up admitting that he has a short attention span, so that's an issue that he realizes about himself. He's becoming more self-aware, which is great. And he's like, that's something I got to work. I've been working on it. Good on him. And so an issue that they're having is, and this happened before the consultations as well. They woke up in the morning, or she woke up in the morning, and she's trying to make him wake up. And he was like, he needs more time. She's like, how much more time do you need? Which I'm like, girl, what kind of question is that? He wanted, like, what? She said, how much more time do you need? And he's like, 3 more hours. And she's like, 3 hours? She was like, what about 30 minutes? I'm like,
that's not uncommon marriage stuff, though.
But like, okay, so anyway. So in his consultation with Dr. Cal, he's telling him about it. And he's like, when I come home from work, he's like, I'm driving all day with my business. And when I come home from work, I'm exhausted and I don't wake up easy. I don't wake up early in the morning because I'm still exhausted from the night before. But she is a very early riser. She wants me to be up at the same time as her. And he says that he thinks that she does it because she thinks that, in her opinion, it's lazy for him not to be up at the same time that she's up. And Pastor Cal says, you know, I understand that you're a pleaser, and he is. Like, he really, like, he does not want to make her mad. He wants, you can tell, I mean, from the whole show, we can tell that he's a pleaser. And Pastor Cal tells him pleasing her doesn't mean doing everything she says. Like, that's not that's not the definition. She'd probably disagree. But and so he comes back home to talk to her about it. And it's like, okay, let's have a compromise about this thing. And
she said, okay. I'm sorry. This is my favorite part of the episode where he said, what do you think you can do to compromise? And she said, well, what can we do to compromise? And then she acted like she really thought. She said, let's see. So the problem is that when I wake up, you're not up, which means you're being less productive. You're not being a good entrepreneur. So here's the compromise that we can do. Let's see. Well, you're on your phone late at night. So if you go to sleep earlier, you can wake up earlier. So compromise complete. Vincent, he was like, Yeah, so I don't think that's a compromise.
And she said it so many times. I think she said like 3 or 4 times, like, yeah, go to bed earlier. That's a compromise. Or she's like, go to bed earlier and then wake up earlier. That's probably the compromise.
And he said, well, I don't want to go to bed earlier. She said, well, what I do notice is that when you are up late, you be on your phone a lot. So maybe if you just put your phone down and sit in complete silence and go to sleep like a 5-year-old, you can go to sleep and wake up exactly when I want you to.
Yeah. And I was like, this is my exact sentiment. Girl, if you don't let that man sleep, is that a big deal? You're saying that's a married person thing. I ain't married, so I don't know. Is that a thing for real?
No. Let me be very, very clear. Everybody's on different sleep patterns. You can work at different times as your spouse. I'm not saying any of that is normal. I'm saying the idea of the way that she said, like, hey, I'm gonna give you 30 moment. Like, it can happen. It can happen. I feel like I'm not gonna make the point the right way. Sure. So it's not normal to feel like I want you to wake up when I want to wake up. No, let the person sleep. What I'm saying is the idea that you want somebody to be up with you. Like, I'm a night owl. My wife is not. She's a morning person. So sometimes she'll be like, hey, not like
Jerry. Sorry. You know. Jerry says she's scared of having kids, but the thing is, every time Jerry writes a comment, her profile picture is the face that she's making this comment with. She's scared of having kids, but sure loves being Mrs. Mama. That is funny.
So I don't know. I'm saying I need more context because this is how it works for some people.
I can understand you want somebody to be up with you, but you have a job that you're doing. You're an engineer. What do you want him just to be sitting in the room while you're doing your job? Do your job.
I don't know. I don't know. So what if, I'm not saying this is what I believe. I'm just saying sometimes you just got to dig because the situation may not be what it looks like on the surface. What if they supposed to go out for morning walks, and when he came in the night before, when he could have had the opportunity to go to bed, he was up playing Madden or 2K for like 4 hours and then went to sleep at 3 o'clock and then didn't wake up on time. I'm just saying, like,
okay, so if you saw all of that, you know he tired, girl, let him sleep.
Oh, I mean, I get it. I agree. I'm just saying it can happen. It can happen. If she's just being controlling and anal about it.
That particular issue sounds like she's being controlling.
I can understand.
Because it's really not a big deal. It's sleep.
I get it.
So she meets with Dr. Pepper, and she says that they need better communication, which Vincent basically said too. He said he has a short attention span sometimes. They basically say they're saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing. And one couple who's actually on the same page with their consultations. And she asked Dr. Pepper, why is financial stability so important to him?
See, and this is, y'all lost me here. Y'all completely lost me here.
I said, why isn't it important to you? And maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't see the other side because I like to be financially stable. Like, I'm a big saver and all of that stuff. And I do have friends who I'm happy hour every day. I'm club on the weekends. I'm doing all these things. I have no savings in sight, but I'm gonna be at the hookah bar, period. And I don't understand if somebody not that I don't understand Brianna, but if somebody is like Brianna in the comments, please share your perspective. She feels like if she makes good money, she works, she done gone to school for a long time, she done, she has a good job, she makes her money, she's like, I want to enjoy life and blah, 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 which is fine. But like, not understanding why your husband wants to have financial stability is odd to me.
No, that's not it. Here's what I think it is. She's been independent for a long time, making good money in a place where getting a house costs you as much as a gallon of gas in Los Angeles. So I honestly believe this is the first time someone is telling her no. I think it's one of the first times somebody's telling her that she might not be able to get everything she wants. And I think it'll be an adjustment for her to budget. I don't think she actually, maybe she does budget, but it's based on her preferences. It's like based on what she wants to do, where she wants to go.
She was freely. Single like a couple weeks ago.
And the issue is, here's the most important part to me. Vincent's whole point was, I'm trying to buy a house.
For us.
I'm not.
And our future children.
I get it. Like, I get the spending, but I want to get a house. And he said, like, I've had all the cars. I've done all the stuff. I want to get something substantial. I want to buy a house for us and our family and our 17 kids that I plan on having, which is fine, which is a whole nother conversation. But the whole point was he wanted to get a house. Now, can we talk about this budget thing real quick? Mm-hmm. Does anybody out on Al Gore's internet spend $400 a month on clothes? I need to know. Here's why. If you mad that I'm spending I'm trying to tell you, maybe we shouldn't spend $400 at the Baby Gap a month. If you think I should be okay with you spending $400 a month, you should let me sleep through the snooze button a couple of times.
Okay.
Can I rest? You can buy clothes while I'm asleep. Just let me sleep.
Hi, Asia.
Hey, what up, cuz? Does anybody spend some of those prices were way too excessive for me. First of all, the dog had a number by what y'all doing? Is the dog buying clothes too? What is all of this?
You know they buy clothes for the dog. If she is making $109 and her spending is $4K, $9K for two people, then someone saying no, that's not how we're gonna rock is gonna rub her the wrong way. Yeah, but you got compromise in marriage. She just doesn't know what compromise means yet.
Dr. Siobhan. I think that's a
You trying to take some of my husband?
Oh no.
The dog was $90 a month.
That's 90 too much for me. I just bought a dog a couple of McChickens and walk him a couple times.
Yeah, it was way too much. And Vincent was like, how do you not understand that I want to build something for our family? And and maybe it's what you said. It's not that she doesn't understand. She's just like, no.
I think she's adjusting to having to merge her funds with somebody. So, hold on, because we're having an official conversation. Are we? This is your channel. Are we letting go of the fact that Dr. Siobhan just said that? Are we letting that go?
She ain't said nothing again, so I was gonna let it go until she defended herself.
I feel like we deserve to have a definitive. Are we moving on? because I need to know.
Veronica Jamal is our resident fact checker. He has all of the numbers, all of the quotes, and all of the receipts for everything that happens on this show.
Jamal, can you please incrementally put the entire budget in the chat, please? Can we have a breakdown of the entire budget in the chat?
What we're not going to do is tarnish the name of our secretary. The OLC conference is very important for our conference.
Hey, Tasha, I have another question for you.
What? Siobhan, it is Thursday night. We don't be on here that long. It's a little late. It's a little
later than usual. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that you being this way was a matter of when we started this Married at First Sight review. It's good to know. I mean, found out a lot about you, Dr. Siobhan. It's good to know, cuz. So I have a question for everybody. Tasha, I'll start with you.
Okay.
Brianna, for some reason, did not believe that their date budget should change. Whoa. Put that comment up. All right.
No.
What is you see how you acting a little like Erik right now when you just controlling the chat. Let the chat live. Hashtag let the chat live.
Is living, okay?
Let the chat live. Let them speak. Let them use their voice.
All the comments, you gotta watch the chat on the replay.
Nah, let the chat live. Let them speak.
What are you asking me? Okay, what is the question?
Now you're raising your voice at me. I don't like that either. My question is, Asia joined in. Okay. Oh, you're gonna ignore two people's comments. These people come back every week. They deserve to have their voice heard.
The number one enabler about this, so
they deserve to have their voice heard. What is the minimum amount that a guy should spend on a date?
I don't think there's a minimum amount because dates vary so much. So many things can be a date. I don't think there's a minimum amount. Dates can be free. I remember one time I went on a date with a guy and we went to it was like summertime, and there was like these free concerts that they were doing all over the city, different restaurants and stuff. And it was like artists that were like artists already, but everybody didn't know about them. So like I found out who Bilal was. We went to a Bilal concert and it was amazing and it was free. I think that's a date. So I don't think there's a minimum.
What's the cheapest date you ever been on?
That one, it was free.
Was it a romantic date?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chat. What is 3,000 savings? Oh wow, Jamal really does have the receipts.
Of course. But y'all thought I was making that up? Car note 870, gas 180. Groceries 500. Ooh, well, I'm in a one-person household, so I don't spend that much on groceries. But cookies 90, personal maintenance 405, 405 a month. Well, I mean, I can see how it can run up because I found out how to do my own nails. I found out how to do a lot of my own stuff, so I don't pay as much in personal maintenance. But for women, it does get up there. Clothes 300 or 400 a month. Entertainment 200. Student loans 200. That's good student loan bill. She must have had a scholarship or something. Internet $80. Phones $215. Insurance $315. Okay, I mean their bills don't seem too far out of their bills portions. The bills are cheaper than everything else that they need that they're doing. I feel like the entertainment budget should be more for a month for people who plan on, like she said, she wants to be courting, she wants to be dating still. married, and I do think $200 is a little low depending on the things that they want to do. She wants to try new things, and things vary in cost, and I think $200 is a bit low, especially if you plan on going out to dinner. If you want to go, even going go-kart racing is going to cost probably $50 between each other. I don't know.
One of the things that's a concern is you just got to be really careful expressing your concern and making one thing that isn't the thing more important than what it needs to.
Veronica said that car note cannot be them. I mean, if they both have car notes, yes, it can.
I think
right. Exactly. All the things you want to do, sir. $200. That list he gave her last week.
Not at once, though.
But a month. I mean, you can do like 2 things a month, and even staying in, people order food. Like $200 seems kind of low to me, because entertainment could be so many things. So I don't know. It seemed low to me a little bit.
But they got a student loan.
The student loan is $200.
The loan isn't $200. That's the payment on the loan.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. $200 is very cheap for a student loan payment. Some people are paying car notes for student loan payments.
But it means you have debt. You ain't just out here banking.
Most people have debt, though.
I hear you. I'm just saying, I understand where he's coming from. They're trying to buy a house.
Oh, I definitely understand where he's coming from. I don't think the money needs to be taken out of the entertainment part. The money needs to be taken out of that clothes thing. She need to change that to $450 every other month, or split it in half, something, maybe a quarter. I don't know, but that $450 a month on clothes is a lot to me. And maybe I'm just a broke boy, and I just don't. Oh, wow. Maybe I just don't live that kind of lifestyle, but it just seems like a lot to me.
You ever seen that meme with the girl on the couch and she's looking and she's like the sister on the couch with the braids? That's how I feel like she was looking at Vincent when he was like, "Yeah, I think we need to cut some of these expenses.
Like, we need to make some sacrifices."
But the thing is, it's like, don't make something that is not paramount to the conversation. Don't make a feeling a thing. If it's a feeling, just express the feeling. Like, her thing is like, I want to live life. I want to enjoy it. I still want to date. I still want to go out. It's like, okay, we can do all of those things and not buy 3 pairs of Jordans a month. It's possible. We can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, if you got it, if it ain't tricking if you got it, period.
You better sell them clothes and pay that loan off.
Some people don't ever plan on paying their student loans for real. They don't care about that payment. What did Reese say? They could be looking at the loan with the CARES Act and deferment that's currently active. Somebody said, wait, where is it at? $200 sounds like a deferred plan. So yeah, most people have it in their mind. They're not paying back their student loans, period. So they don't care about the payment. I got one of my aunts is like, I ain't paying that. Because I have literally talked to 2 of my aunts actually about how like they could have paid certain things off already. They're like, I ain't paying that. So some people are like that. Not me though. I hate that. Right. Anywho, the last thing that happened in the Dr. Pepper. Wow, the Dr. Pepper.
It's time to go sleep.
Child, I'm telling you, the Dr. Pepper. Help me, Lord.
Hey, Tasha. Tasha, no, real question. Have you been drinking? I know your church now watching, so I can ask you straight out. You been?
I've been up since 6:15 this morning, and right now it's 11:15 at night. So,
oh, it is. Oh, yeah, it is 11 at y'all time.
So I am tired. Anyway, in the Dr. Pepper consultation, the last thing Brianna was talking about with her was saying that she was saying that she was scared to carry a child because she has high blood pressure. And it's not just like, I got high blood pressure, I'm gonna take this medicine for a little bit and it's gonna be gone. It's like she has high blood pressure, period, and it's not going away. And what yeah, exactly. That's why I'm on Vincent's side on this.
Yeah, you're always on Vincent's side.
I don't know if that's true or not. Jamal, fact check that.
Yeah, it's because he's light-skinned.
So, and I think it's high blood pressure that causes women to get preeclampsia, or is that a difference? Something else causes preeclampsia? Somebody in the chat, tell me. Dr. Siobhan, do you know? Are you a doctor? And so that wasn't shade. She probably does know. Stop.
No, I didn't like the delivery on that one. I gotta take a time out until Dr. Siobhan answers. I got you.
So anyway,
I'm doing this for the chat.
So yeah. Oh, diabetes does too. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So I'm not tripping. So, and that is extremely scary. People have very traumatic birth stories when you get things like that. So I definitely understand her fear, especially being married to somebody who wants multiple children, and something can go wrong every time, right? It's not even just I'm scared for the baby. She's literally doctor in finance. Okay. She's literally scared for her own life, which is a real concern. She's Black. She's a Black woman too. It's a whole thing. I totally get it. And then she said that we're saying the same thing. And it hurt my heart. She was like, I just don't want to let him down. And I was like, oh, this is tough. This is tough. And Vincent was clearly frustrated with the childbearing convo, because it's something that he has no control over, right? I can't. There's nothing he can do to take away take away her high blood pressure. There's nothing he can do to make sure nothing happens to her, right? Yeah. He was very, very frustrated. And what?
Am I the only person? I didn't see him frustrated at all.
What? His whole face was like, it's like he looked very not upset, but like.
I'm gonna tell you what his face said to me when she was like, pregnancy is gonna be really hard for me to do if I do it. And you know what his face said to me? Man, I really feel bad. She's gonna go through all this pain when she finally gets pregnant. Like, I didn't see him rethinking anything. He was just like, wow, she's gonna be going through a lot when we had this baby.
No, I felt like he was like, it's like one of those situations where someone is like pouring their heart out to you and you're like, that's tough. And it's like that nothing you say is going to make the situation better. So it's just like, you can't say anything. I don't remember her ever saying anything about wanting to be a mom.
She did. Remember
she did? Okay.
But she was like
Jamal,
pushing it. She was pushing it off. In fact, let me tell you why my theory. Because remember when she was like, yeah, and I just will go through so much pain, and he was like, yeah, but the sooner we do it, the easier it'll be, right?
And he was like, hey, he was like, yeah, and it's gonna get harder the older you get.
He's like, I'm sorry for you, but we pushing these little babies out. That's what I saw in his face. Yeah, I didn't see no man who was like, dang, I have to rethink having kids. He was looking at her like,
well, he said I might be single after decision day.
He said we're gonna have to put Tylenol on the budget because you going on you giving birth on that table.
I asked Instagram if they thought it was gonna be a deal breaker for him, and the poll was 50-50. Some people said possibly, and some people said they're gonna be all right. He was frustrated before that part of the convo. Yes, definitely, and yeah, he was. I just felt like he was frustrated the whole time. It was just like getting worse and worse and worse. He's like, "Girl, what else you got to say? Because you are stressing me." That's how you saw it?
No, we're not gonna do Vincent like that. We can't attach that name to Vincent. We're gonna have to call it something else.
That was interesting to see what's gonna happen after this. I'm interested to see how they navigate that and what his actual feelings are, because he didn't really say much. So okay, we have 2 hours. Let's get to this last folk. If you haven't already, please like this live, give it a thumbs up so that people can find it and that we can add more folks to the ELC conference. I see it's only like 4 likes on here. Please, what? It's more than 4 people watching. Can you please? Just it's free. You don't even gotta buy a t-shirt for that. It's free.
It's free support.
Mm-hmm. She can't afford to not work during pregnancy because he can't support a family. Yet. I think that he just started as an entrepreneur. He's already making $89,000, which is a lot in Atlanta.
$90,000 can't support a family. What kind of family y'all got? Kardashian?
They live in Atlanta. It's not expensive to buy. Like, you can buy as much as I pay for my house. I could be living in a mansion in Atlanta. So, and
you got a 2-income house.
I do not have a 2-income house. Yeah, he can. Asia, you just got here. Don't be running out of here.
If y'all got 90,000, okay, never mind.
Oh, thanks you guys for liking. You guys did that so quickly. Thank you so much.
How many likes we got?
11.
All right, thank you guys.
That was all. You guys are the greatest.
When you sign on, just like it, so we can just get to the talking part.
All right, so.
Oh no!
What happened?
Well, that's Jamal. Can we get some?
His salary is only $20K. Hers $89K. Jamal said hers is $109K, and his is $89K. Where are you getting these numbers, BM?
No,
Where are you getting these numbers?
What she's saying is the number was 109. It's not 109 for her and 89 for him. The grand number is 109
total. Oh.
And hers is 89 because his business is just starting.
Oh.
Now, guys, this
we gotta change. This does change things.
It shouldn't change things. Let
me put this back up here.
It shouldn't.
It does.
It shouldn't, though.
What?
It shouldn't.
If it's 109 combined and we spending almost $10,000 a month, we are over budget. We're not even.
No, I'm saying from it shouldn't change anything in terms of the way they prioritized it. It shouldn't change it. I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay, because they trying to go into the red. The numbers ain't adding up if it's 109K combined at all. That's not adding up at all.
Again, I would like to add $20,000 is enough to survive in Atlanta.
Right.
It is Atlanta.
But I'm saying 109K a year, y'all trying to spend almost 120K a year. Something ain't right.
Which
something ain't right.
It would make sense. Like if he's been like working, and is just starting his business. I understand why between April and now, look, he's just starting up. So maybe he's building his company. So I understand why it would be a little less than You know, if it's 20, I get it. He's just starting his business.
Veronica, he was in an apartment. Yeah, doesn't know there's a lot of margin.
Now, we're not going to act like this man cannot have a plan for his family financially.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because he's only making 20. He can still.
I didn't say that.
You can still. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't change anything. Like, he's still trying to be.
I'm talking about the overall number changes everything. The overall number changes. If that's the overall number, that changes everything. Girl, we don't got the money to be spending $10,000 a month. Bring it down.
That fur coat back.
We calling Dave Ramsey at this point. What are you talking about? Baby steps. 1 through 6. ASAP.
Uh-oh. Siobhan went into finance mode. Can we add a finance class to the EOLC conference, Dr. Siobhan?
That would be great. I think she doesn't budget for her income. She budgets for her wants. If they bring in $109K, but spend right.
My point.
Ruthless. Ruthlessly, Veronica. We're cutting everything. We're eating rice and beans. We're not going out on dates. We're sacrificing for the next 8 months, and we're saving everything. What are you talking about, ma'am? 10K? You have lost it.
Now, I need to see a screenshot. We need to verify this.
Yeah, we definitely need to verify. I know Jamal's already going back to the TV to fight and back to verify it, so I'm not even worried about it. He on his way back soon.
Jamal is calling Vincent as we speak.
Jamal is driving over to their apartment complex to ask them personally. So I'm not even worried about it. So we're gonna move on and let him come back with that in a second. All right. So let's end up with Haley and Jacob.
Oh.
You the one that wanted to end with them, basically. Why can't I attach a screenshot to this?
Oh, I thought that meant okay.
Jamal, if you email it to me, I'll pull it up at my email. Email it to me, and I'll pull it. I'll share it. Pull it up. Okay.
Yo, when he said SS, I thought it said Social Security number. I was like, oh snap! he got the deets for real.
That stipend don't come in until after the show airs, don't it?
Yes, that's about right.
Yeah, so they've been married way long before the show airs, so that don't go in the budget. Okay, Jacob and Haley. The Dr. Cal visit. Dr. Cal visits with Jacob. Literally, every time they come on the screen, I'm like, oh yeah, girl, same. So Dr. Cal visits with Jacob. And he basically says the whole time he's been trying to play by her rules to make a connection. He's basically saying he's been losing himself because he's been trying to do everything that's to make her comfortable, and she ain't been doing nothing to make him comfortable. And he said that if he had any question that he could ask and get an answer to, his question would be, what happened in Vegas that made you shift your energy so quickly? What happened? Right? That's what we all want to know. What happened after the 4 days, girl?
No, that was terrible.
What was terrible?
That was the most ridiculous answer of the week. That made no sense whatsoever.
What? Why? Because he literally is confused of why after 4 days you turn into an entirely different person.
That cleared the lane for me to understand. Like, he just does not get it. Everybody else thought it was like a justified answer. I thought it was ridiculous. It made no sense. All right, so listen. First of all, Haley and Jacob, if Married at First Sight is the Bible, Haley and Jacob are the minor prophets. They're Obadiah. Nobody reads that. Like, they are they're Titus. Like, it's just like, whoa. When they show them, I'll be like, oh snap, oh yeah, them. So was it Dr. Cal? Did he meet with Dr. Cal?
Yes.
Here's what Dr. Cal asked him. And if I'm tripping, let me know. Dr. Cal said, I feel like that you guys do not know each other.
Mm-hmm. They both said that. Dr. Pepper and Dr. Cal said that.
You've been trying, but you haven't been opening up to each other. You actually been around each other all this time, but you just don't know each other. Like just basic, get to know this person on a deeper level. You just been on the surface this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So if she can answer any question and she would have to answer it in a vulnerable way, transparently, what would you want to know? And neither one of them have any desire to get to know the other person on a deep level.
You think Haley does? She's been asking him so many questions over the entire season, and he's just like,
Okay, so you back on
regular questions. After you having a conversation, they get to deeper questions. She's asking questions and he doesn't even like give her nothing to work with.
She said, okay, let me not move ahead. But he said, I'm at the point now where I think he just wanted to get married and have somebody on paper that he could be married to. And
because all his friends are married.
And he just wanted to be 38 and be married and get it over with. Mm-hmm. And he didn't care who he was married. It could have been a cave woman. He don't care.
As long as she was pretty.
Maybe. I don't think he cared about that. As long as she wanted him.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you desire to get close to a person, you want to know them on a deeper level. And you can ask them one question that they have to answer honestly. And you pull out a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. How come she don't want me, man? What is that? I don't get it.
These two.
What's the most important thing in your life? What day made you the person that you are? Like, if you really want to get to know somebody and they have to answer one question, and the one question is, why don't you like me? Essentially, it's like, that's the question you want to ask to get to know somebody?
Well, I feel like finding out what changed in her energy so swiftly that's like an insight into a person. Like, how does your mind work? What happened? Like, what it helps to it brings you into the mind of somebody. It puts you helps you understand them. That is, you don't feel like that?
No.
Okay.
That's like being like, hey, Kasaun, you get to ask your aunt one question. Like, you get to ask her one question and something that you always wanted to ask, and then being like, hey, did you mean to renege? Did you have clubs in your hand? It's like, no. Like, it's so many deeper questions. The whole point of the conversation
give us an example of a deeper question for them.
Like, what do you think you need to grow in? What was the most important day of your life? Or is there a pattern in relationships that you feel like
the most important day of her life was when she was in Thailand eating pad thai every single day, and he did not care. So, I mean, what could she do? Do y'all feel like the producers were just trying to up the ante for ratings? None of these couples are goals. I think Briana and Vincent are doing a good job. I mean, that's all they have is Briana and Vincent, honestly. I think Clara and Ryan could have been goals if Ryan wasn't being so weird right now.
I'm inclined to say no. However, I don't think they cast the season trying to get ratings, but they definitely edited the show to keep the ratings.
For sure.
I think once they saw they had Chris, they thought they had a gold mine, and they completely catered the whole season to that specific drama.
Capitalized completely.
Yeah.
There was no change. She couldn't keep up the facade for more than 4 days.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that to tell Tasha. She's Team Haley for sure.
A good question. A good question will be, besides not wanting to fail, Why does she want to keep trying at the marriage? That's a good question.
Why did you get married?
He doesn't. He does not care about how she actually feels on the inside. He doesn't want the feelings part. He wants the. We said Haley wants to be married. Jacob just wanted to be married too. All her friends was married. She wanted to be married. All his friends was married, had kids, and he wanted to be married. She been asking him, "What have you been doing for the past 10 years? Have you been enjoying yourself? What are your passions? Something." He's like, "Well, I've just been dating." For 10 years in Atlanta, you have no stories of life aside from the fact that all of your friends was married and had kids, so you couldn't hang out with them no more, and you was just trying to find a wife to sit with.
Yo,
I'm sorry, what?
Can I tell you one of the funniest parts of the episode for me?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the absolute evidence I needed to know that she has not tried this whole time. Dr. Pepper had to convince her to stop saying that she was getting divorced. She was saying it in an interview. She said, how do you feel about your marriage? She said, I just feel so bad that I failed. She was like,
she's like, it's not over yet, sweetie.
You didn't fail. It's still 3 weeks left. She was like, I know. I hate that I failed. We were like, what?
Jamal, I don't see an attachment. Send it again. And then he tells Pastor Cal that there's a part of him that still wants to be with her.
He don't mean that.
Why not?
Why? Have you watched the season?
But so you think he's lying?
I don't think he's lying. I think he's willing to try.
Do you think he's telling the truth? Like, what do you like? If he's not lying, there's a part of him that still wants to be with her.
Oh, look at you being open to the idea of lying. That's new. I think he's open to the idea that it could work. I don't think he's sold on her at all. I think he wants to try. Exactly. He wants the opportunity to make his marriage work because he doesn't want to start over again.
Y'all are funny.
She will never do that.
Oh, we got multiple attachments. What do you think was going on here?
Golly, Jamal felt threatened. He was like, "Oh, okay, are y'all doubting my impeccable research? Well, here you go."
Let me pull these up. Let me pull up the receipts.
He got W-2s. Y'all ain't ready for Jamal.
Let me move this to the side.
So what's the final verdict? We need to know. Because was it BM who said it was 109? Who said that?
Yeah, BM said it was 109 total.
This feels like this feels like drumline. It was
Hold on a second. Let me reshare. Get it together. Oh, y'all need to see my whole screen, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, we see here it says there's two different amounts there at the top. We got 109 and then the 89. So I don't see a 20K anywhere. He had a couple more screenshots, but they're just going down the spreadsheet. Yeah, there's nowhere that says anything about 20K in these screenshots. So I need
help interpreting this spreadsheet. Because maybe 89,000 is a total of their expenses for the year. That's the estimated expenses for the year. And they can save 20. The difference between 109,000 and 89,000 is obviously, let's see, what, $20,400?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that is the difference in their expenses for the year versus what they're estimated to make for the year.
That sounds like it's right. That sounds a lot like right.
Which would then still mean that is their
total
combined income.
Okay,
listen, I'm not counting nobody's pockets. I'm from the hood. That's wrong.
Counting because 9,000 times 12
okay, go ahead. Go ahead, count
right.
It.
No, 9,000 times 12 is over 100. Is one? Okay, where my calculator at? Because the 9,000
12 times 9 is 108. I'm sorry, y'all. Right, I apologize.
So the
everybody in Jersey, New Jersey. I'm from the hood. I don't count people's pockets. That's against the code.
So the 9,127 times 12 is the 109,530.
What in God's name is personal maintenance?
That's the waxing, the nails, the hair, that's personal maintenance.
I'm gonna need you for that amount of money to bring all the hair you require. $405 is too much.
The thing is, when I think about it, exactly. That's the math right there. That's it right there. So when it comes to the personal maintenance, right? A wax alone, if you're not even getting
Tasha, I don't want to know.
I'm just saying the amount. I'm saying the amounts.
No, because you started going.
Listen.
All right.
Wax alone, not even your whole body, runs $100. Then nails, if you're getting nails and toes, that could absolutely run $100 because you add in.
All right,
I'm back.
Right? If this was, I don't see anything on their budget for Wi-Fi, but Tasha, I hope in the new year it is on yours. Your Wi-Fi is trash.
I'm not gonna have this problem next week, okay? Put that. I'm calling Comcast and I'm telling the pastor to act like my father so I can get the best package available.
I'm not one to get in someone's business, but if you have two people in your house, it should be a 2-income household. I think it is wrong that he doesn't at least use his benefits to benefit the house. I want better for you, to be honest, if I'm being honest.
So they're over budget, exactly. This budget is her and their bill combined bills, yes. Wait, he doesn't show up on here at all. What you mean? Is their combined bills? No, it's not. Personal maintenance is very important. Yeah, it is. It's very important if you're on the dating market, for sure. I agree with that. Some things, though, girl, you're going to have to figure out how to do your nails yourself. You're going to have to figure out, get on YouTube University and do a knotless braid. Like, come on.
Everybody bring your monthly expenses next week for Dr. Siobhan to critique.
So she can give us personal consultations for.
Yeah, why don't y'all bring y'all budgets up here? Whoa. Now, that is a question.
Wait, what's the question?
If their total monthly expenses, does that mean they're $20,000 over budget for the year? Like the 89 is what they make and the 109 is what?
I don't understand.
His fund money.
Yeah, he does.
Her clothing money.
I don't understand this spreadsheet. I don't. I don't understand. I do understand that the 109,530 is their yearly expenses for sure. Don't know what the 89,000 is. I don't know if that's what's left. I don't know if that's what they make.
Vincent doesn't even have a lollipop on that expense sheet. He can't even get a.
Vincent does not want to have fun. He wants to have a home that he can sit in and not have to go anywhere. That's what he said. I
mean, owning a home is fun to me.
3K of that 9K is savings. Nothing. It's not adding up. Nothing's not adding up. That's not how. It's not adding up.
Jamal, we require a little further analysis on this spreadsheet. I think we have exhausted our financial analysis. If you can somehow interpret this and break it down for us next week, it would be great.
Siobhan, what are you saying right to? What are you interpreting it as? Spell it out, because I don't know what you're saying.
She could be drunk, to be honest with you. She may not.
It is at this point. It's definitely demon time. We're 15 minutes to midnight. You know what I'm saying? You know, only thing that's open at these hours. Right.
Yeah, it could include Bitcoin and Bibles.
If combined expenses, personal maintenance could be for both of them, which would make more sense. He did say his haircut is $40 a week.
It's beard maintenance. I mean,
so that's 120. So no, it's not. That's 160. So look, you know what?
Yo, Vincent and Brianna both need to just go bald and buy that house and call it a day.
But it's stressing me.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. So let's get back to Jacob and Haley, because that just
I actually didn't mind not talking about them anymore. I'm good.
Right.
It's weird. I don't like the way they make me feel. They don't need to be together. They're awkward. They're not really trying.
I just need to get to what Haley said. So
I was actually kind of hoping we just ended the show right there, and we didn't have to talk about them no more. I literally was like, oh, maybe we're in the clear.
No, I need to get to what Haley said, because
I forgot the captain of Team Haley over here.
See, this math, we got to try, like, Siobhan, help us, please.
Oh, I didn't know
minus 3K was 6K.
I didn't know we was doing formulas tonight. Hold on, wait a minute. 9 minus 3 is 6. 6
73,000 for all expenses paid. There are so much in savings, but it's doable. There are not much in savings, but it's doable.
What you got to say about Haley? It's Dr. Javon is 3 comments away from a misdemeanor, so we need to hurry up and get her out of here.
So Haley had so many amazing things to say about Jacob to Dr. Pepper, and I was like, what? She's like, he's this and he's this, he's dependable, and he's this and he's that and he's this, but I just can't find any common ground.
She is camera presence. She knows she's on camera and she wants to look good. All the compliments she said about Jake are things you say to describe a good maintenance man on TaskRabbit. If I need him, he's there. He fixes stuff. He'd be standing there. He'd be smiling from time to time. It's like, what is that?
And then Dr. Pepper was on it this episode. We know that. She said, you can't just expect somebody to show up and just drop into your life the way you want them to. It don't work like that. And then she started crying.
She down for a good cry now.
Yes.
I'll be trying.
What did she do?
I be trying. I'm just so sad I failed.
So Jacob ended up asking her, why is she so why does she always need space every time something happens? Like, why do you need so much space every time something happens? And she revealed that she was in a 5-year controlling relationship, and she feels like she doesn't want to be controlled anymore. So anything that feels like that, she like runs away basically, which was something new that we really don't know anything else about her. So, but anyway,
it'll be helpful for her to heal from that in her next relationship.
Yeah, especially because that relationship was so long ago. She had a lot of time to heal from that.
A little shade, but we'll move on.
Her last relationship was what? She said it was like when she was 20, 21 or something?
Yeah.
Well, maybe she was 21 and it was 5 years. Maybe it ended if she was 26. I don't know. That's a possibility. But 2 years. Henry was confused.
She did walk in like it was a decision day. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to fail, but my answer is no. And they're like, no, it's not today. So, oh, my bad. I cried for nothing.
So Jacob says he feels like there's enough there to have something. So they're resetting again for the umpteenth time. I think they're resetting for real this time. And
there have been 13 episodes. And this is the 15th time they've reset. They've reset. There are 2 episodes where they had to reset twice in the episode.
Yes. Oh, okay. So she was a teenager? Okay. No. Okay. She was single for 7 years. Okay. So that's plenty of time to heal from that. So yeah. So that's all that happened with them. Wow. Wow, the disrespect.
Hey, Doc, you win. You win, Doc. I love you.
Wow, this is my channel, and y'all just be in here ready to disrespect. And I'm not taking it anymore.
You just messed up the comments for everybody. Now she ain't gonna put none of y'all comments up.
I'm not gonna take it anymore. So be ready for next week.
She's not gonna take it. Her and Ernest, they're not gonna take.
So this was great. I had a great time with you all. As always, you guys always make this an amazing time. So much fun in the chat. You guys make this show what it is. All of our EOLC family and cousins, the late night show. Wait, what'd you say, Jamal? But I ain't mad at Jake though. She asked, do you think I'm the one for you? He said, if you want to make it work, it can. So basically he's saying anyone could be the one if they wanted to be with him.
Can y'all please stop talking about Jake and Haley? We done with them, fam. We done.
Veronica, just know I'm not taking I'm preparing all of the smoke. I'm ready for y'all.
Hey guys, everybody who's watching, I'm saying this out loud now. Tasha, you have to wear one of your high school shirts next week.
Okay, I'll find one. I'll try to find one. If not, I'll put on a college one.
Nope, high school.
If I cannot find it, I'll put on a college.
Oh no, you was telling Brianna, girl, you better grab some of your. I still got winter coats from preschool. You better throw in one of them middle school coats. I still got Paco jeans from the first grade. I still wear.
I had Paco jeans.
I got Chinese slippers and everything.
I had Paco jeans.
That's a fact.
That's hilarious. So thank you guys so much. Next week we will be back at our regular time of 8:00. I do have to say, I'm trying to figure. We not?
Nope. I had to move Kay's house party to next week, so we'll be back at this time again.
9:15. We're doing the late night show again.
This was fun. I'm liking the late night vibe.
I have to work tomorrow. It's 12:00. But it's okay. It's okay. I want to know who removed their like, because we're down to 10 likes. Put your like back right now. And put your like back.
Whoa. Hold on. Slow down, Eric. You can real demonstrative. And I said, oh.
And they put it back. That's hilarious. But I had a great time with you guys. Thank you all so much for showing up. I really enjoy seeing you guys' names and things pop up. I do. I get so excited when I see you guys. So see you next week at 9:15. Hopefully people do better next week. Right, the disrespect. Okay, and we got an extra. Like, okay, 12 now. Okay, thank you guys so much.
The way Tasha was talking to y'all, they was like, "You ain't gonna talk to." Chat. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Tasha was not putting y'all comments up, and somebody was like, "Well, I'm gonna use the power that I have to influence this show, and if you're not putting up my comments, I'm taking my like back." And I'm not mad. You got to use the power you have. Protest is the voice of the unheard, and that's what they did. They just protested this video, and I'm sorry, guys, I have to suffer because of Tasha's.
What are you suffering?
I like having likes on videos that I'm on. I mean, it's Thank you guys for coming every week. This is the highlight of my week.
Yes, and I am going to bed, so stay blessed, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.